Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics. That's Noon Classics. This is episode number 1987 and Doubleshot number 1987, Doubleshot number 1881. I have two DC trades. The first one is a finale for a run for a title for a writer. Which one is it? Green Arrow. Yes, we finally reached the last trade that collects issues from Mike Grell's run for the book. I've already discussed the trade that came after this one. It was actually the first one to discuss. So with this, that is it. This book contains issues 63 to 72 of Mike Grell's run for Green Arrow. Now, aside from the fact he does do the writing for these issues, he does not do the artwork like he did occasionally a little while ago. The artwork is done by Rick Herberg and Frank Springer. He does do the cover artwork. Yes, this cover right here, that is Mike Grell, and of course the interior artwork, the cover artwork basically for the individual covers, that is also Mike Grell as well. Now, for your stories here, they're all a bunch of multi-parts, no standalone issues. The first up called Hunt for the Red Dragon. This is Oliver been hired by a rich guy to basically look for Shadow, because apparently she stole money from him. It turns out it was actually a lie. It was a very good four-parter, and it kind of was starting to set up the end of the era for Green Arrow. For instance, he does find out about Shadow's son. Either she confirms that it's actually her son. Yeah, it's actually kind of confirmed that he does find out that this boy is actually his child. But it's an excellent four-parter, and kind of in a way wraps up Shadow for this era. Though Shadow herself would occasionally appear afterwards, mostly as a minor antagonist. Of course, you have, now, for 63 to 72, we have, for 63 to 66, we have the Hunt for a Dragon. For 67 to 60, we have Bum Rap. For 69 and 70, it's Reunion Tour, and then Wild in the Streets, Part 1 and Part 2. Yep. Yeah, so The Hunt for the Dragon, that's basically the story that starts out the trade. It's actually a really good story. Yeah, and it's a damn good one. Yeah. And it kind of, in a way, does wrap up the whole thing with Shadow for basically Mike Grell. Kind of. Then you have the whole thing with Bum Report, where you have Oliver going with Mardine, who has been an employee of Laurel's, where kind of basically tell a story for her for a couple issues. Which I found to be pretty interesting for her. Yep. Oh, in case you're curious, though, is there any issues where you have Green Arrow and Black Canary have sex? Yes. Definitely. That does happen. You have Green Arrow going out to some other people. Now, Reunion Tour is basically just a quick two-parter of Green Arrow working with a few other people. Just all about a rock band. Come back together. That's most of what it is, but it's pretty good. Wild in the Streets. I believe this is the last one here, correct? Yes. This basically involves Green Arrow basically finding some biochemist who apparently can turn into a panther who later dies at the end of this two-parter. And that's it for that one. This is really good. I give this one 9.5 out of 10. Just really good there. And with that, Mike Grell's run for Green Arrow is completed. I have fully reviewed this entire run for Green Arrow. Took a while, but got it done. My final thoughts on the Mike Grell run, which started with Longbow Hunters, and include actually with the very next trade, mind you. Yes, there is technically a mini-series that's actually not in these trades, surprisingly. And that's the second volume, Brave and the Bold. I'm not sure why that was not collecting, but yet Wonder Years was. And that's collecting the very next volume, which also contains the last 8 issues of this run. But in the case of the main 80 issues, this run was really good. Now, I have now in the case of this run in particular, now, the thing with this run that probably does irk some people if they read it, is that at the start you actually have Green Arrow wearing his domino, is basically his mask that he wears. And then like a year into the run, he stops wearing it. Do not know the reason for it. Also, Mike Grell had this thing where no powers, So Black Canary could not use her sonic scream. She put on the costume, no problem, but she can't use the sonic scream. So basically, they kind of written it out where basically her sonic scream was taken away from her thanks to the events what happened in the Longbow Hunters miniseries, which apparently was later revealed in another book. Apparently, this also took away her ability to have children, though that was later fixed. Kind of. In the page of Chuck Dixon's run for Birds of Prey. But in the case of new characters introduced, new mythology, one thing that in particular I was not really a big fan of when you think of Green Arrow is that he was not headquartered in Star City this whole run. Nope, he was in Seattle, a real life city. That Ben Percy decided to have the character set in Seattle instead of start. Actually, it actually started with the current run, the most recent run, when the 2 volumes that basically lasted from 2011 to 2019, where the headquarters in Seattle and then get turned into Star City for some reason, even though there actually is a Star City. I thought this was kind of weird. Yep, but an excellent run for Green Arrow. That's just my opinion, anyways. Very mature run. It does introduce 2 new characters, Shadow and Eddie Fires, 2 really good characters who basically still appear occasionally this very day. Though Shadow, they did make a change to her where she did sleep with Oliver Queen in the current continuity. She actually slept with Robert Queen and gave Oliver a sister, not a son. So, still Oliver related to a child that Shadow has, but he's not the parent. He's actually the older brother. Yep. Alright, next up is I Am Batman by John Ridley. And you might be curious though, why the heck am I handing this book, despite the fact this book is just barely brought up at all in DC Comics? The main reason why? Because it contains a couple issues that tie into Fear State. That's really the reason for this. In the case of these issues, there's not really a lot happening here. There's a little bit of family drama with the Fox family. No, that's not reference to the channel. Basically, it's Lucius Fox that does occasionally in this book. It's Jace as the next Batman, just beat up criminals, get brief off Fear State, and that's really it. It started with issue 0, and this book also contained issue 5. It's actually one of the rare books in DC Comics that started with issue 0. And this actually is a follow-up to another book that was called Next Batman Second Son, which I'm probably going to get that in the future. Just quit my time of reviewing. To continue, like, saying I review everything for Jace Fox. Now, I did explain this to someone I know, that Jace Fox is actually not in a current continuity original. His brother Luke Fox is original, but Jace Fox, no, he actually is not. He actually is a pre-crisis character that, for some reason, that John Grell decided to bring back and give him the nickname of Jace for some reason, despite the fact his real name is Timothy. Yeah, I don't know what the reason for this was. This was okay. I like the Fear State stuff in here. Gets involved with that, but that's pretty much it. Okay, Dad. And, well, in the case of my final thoughts of Fear State, excellent story. I do recommend it, but I'm going to have to wrap it up here because supper's ready. So, can say it back later. Come back later for my review for Bleach. Okay, bye.